At that moment, no one knew that Sushila Karki, coming from a small village in Nepal, would change an entire nation's understanding of justice and make history. 2003 Nepal. Walking through the dusty streets of Kathmandu, young lawyer Sushila Karki had only a law degree in her hand and an unwavering belief justice should be equally distant to everyone. But she didn't yet know what impossible challenges awaited her. In Nepal's feudal structure, the legal field was completely male-dominated. No one took female lawyers seriously in courtrooms. Colleagues saying, "You stay home and take care of children." Judges saying, "What does a woman understand about justice?" Every morning when Sushila Karki looked in the mirror, she told herself, "If there's injustice in this country, I will change it." But the most shocking thing was where this determination came from. Sushila's childhood was spent in a rural village of Nepal. Her father died at an early age, and her mother was trying to raise 3 children alone. Women had no inheritance rights in the village. The house belongings went to her uncles. 9-year-old Sushila made a decision that day. "This world is unjust, but when I grow up I will change this." When her elementary school teacher gave her the first law book, that sparkle in the little girl's eyes, no one could have guessed that this child would one day preside over Nepal's highest court. In 2005, Nepal was going through a turbulent period: Maoist rebellion, political uncertainty, economic crisis. In this chaotic environment, Sushila Karki was quietly proving herself. Her first big case was a rape case. The victim was a young woman, and no one wanted to take her case. They would dismiss it, saying female lawyers should take these cases. This is exactly when everything changed. In the courtroom, Nepal's most experienced defense attorneys stood before her. "Little lady, we're not playing games here," they mocked. Sushila Karki calmly opened her file and began to speak. Every word was in place, every argument was flawless. She presented the evidence in such an organized way that the opposing side was stunned. When the case was won, the silence in the courtroom, then applause rose. That day everyone learned Sushila Karki's name. But success also brought enmity. She started receiving threatening letters. "Don't forget you're a woman, stay at home." One evening while returning home, she realized she was being followed. Her heart was beating fast, but she didn't slow down. At that moment the door was knocked. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet. In 2010, new constitutional work began in Nepal. Sushila Karki was the only female jurist invited to the Constitutional Commission. Her male colleagues saw her as decoration. She wasn't even given a chance to speak in meetings. They would say patronizingly, "Ma'am, these topics are very technical." One day she couldn't stand it and stood up. "I'm not here as a decoration. Half of this country is women, and their rights will also be included in this constitution." A deep silence fell over the hall. Then the commission chairman laughed. "Miss Sushila, we're talking real politics here." That's when that sparkle returned to Sushila Karki's eyes, that look that signaled she would accomplish the impossible. The next day she came to the commission with a 200-page report: women's rights, gender equality, inheritance law. Every article was processed in detail. Wait a minute. Don't miss this detail. In 2013, a vacancy occurred in Nepal's Supreme Court. The Deputy Chief Justice had retired, and someone needed to be appointed to replace him. Until now, only men had been appointed to this position. Sushila Karki's name was also on the list, but no one saw her as a serious candidate. They called it symbolic. Her presentation before the selection commission made a mark in Nepal's legal history. Her vision on justice, ideas about court reforms, women's rights perspective. When the presentation ended, one of the commission members asked, "How will you, as a woman, establish authority in this male-dominated institution?" Sushila Karki's answer went down in history. "You don't need to be male or female to ensure justice. You just need to be fair." That night when the phone rang, her life would change. "Now what you've seen is nothing. Congratulations, Miss Karki. You are the new Deputy Chief Justice of Nepal's Supreme Court." When she hung up the phone, she couldn't stand. She cried. This was the result of 20 years of struggle. For the first time in Nepal's history, a woman was coming to this position. But the joy was short-lived. The next day newspapers came out with headlines. "Can a female judge bring justice?" That strange silence she experienced on her first day at court. Everyone was sizing her up, analyzing her every move, as if saying, "Let's see what she'll do." When her first case came, the tension in the hall was palpable. She had a case from one of Nepal's most powerful businessmen, a case filed with allegations of mobbing female workers. The businessman's lawyer had winked at her as if, "We hope you'll be understanding, Miss Deputy Chief Justice." Sushila Karki examined the file and made her decision. "You won't believe this, but the defendant company has systematically discriminated against female employees. It has decided to pay compensation and apologize." It had a bombshell effect in the courtroom. The businessman was shocked. The media came out with headlines, "Female judge against male power." That night she received her first death threat. "Don't forget you're a woman, know your place." Was she scared? Yes. Did she give up? Never. When the great earthquake hit Nepal in 2014, Sushila Karki was the first judge to bring justice to disaster victims. She was setting up courts in tents, forming special teams for documents buried under rubble. "Justice doesn't wait," she said. "Neither earthquake, nor war, nothing can stop justice." At the end of 2016, shocking news came. The Supreme Court Chief Justice was resigning. Who would replace him? While security guards were approaching, no one knew what Sushila Karki was feeling at that moment. Everyone learned the truth. But the real shock: on behalf of the Republic of Nepal, we appoint Sushila Karki to the position of Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. At that moment, Nepal's history had changed. The first female Chief Justice. Thousands of women gathered at the swearing-in ceremony, tears in their eyes, banners in their hands. Sushila is our pride. But the male-dominated legal world remained reactive to this appointment. Campaigns saying a woman can't handle this job began. At her first presidential meeting, 15 male judges stood before her, all elderly, all experienced, all skeptical. Even being addressed as Mr. Chief Justice drew strange looks. Everyone was curious about what she would say in her first speech. "Dear colleagues, I am here not as a woman or man, but only for justice. Together we will strengthen Nepal's justice." From that day on, every decision was harshly criticized. The media examined her every move with a magnifying glass. When they thought it was over, in 2017, Nepal's biggest corruption case came to her desk. There were people on the list from politicians to businessmen, even judiciary members. Everyone was waiting. How will the first female Chief Justice handle this case? The phone started ringing. "Mr. Chief Justice, it would be good if you quietly closed this case." The pressure increased so much that she had to hire a bodyguard. Protection was also provided for her family. One night while returning home, her car was followed. She could feel her heart pounding, but she was determined. When the court day came, Kathmandu had stopped. Thousands of people gathered in front of the courthouse. When Sushila Karki took the podium, Nepal held its breath. Justice is not anyone's monopoly, neither politics nor money, nor power. She made her decision. Guilty. At that moment, a new era had begun in Nepal. Now justice was truly equal for everyone. When the door opened, what she saw had shaken her. Across from her stood her father's closest friend from 25 years ago, who was supposed to be dead. Uncle Ramesh? Sushila's voice was trembling. The man had aged, his hair had turned white, but that familiar smile was still the same. "Hello, my dear. How proud I am to see you so accomplished." But there was something in his eyes, sadness, fear. Sushila couldn't understand. She invited him in. Her hands were shaking while making tea. This man was the person she trusted most in her childhood. After her father died, he had tried to protect them. But then he suddenly disappeared. "Why did you come now, Uncle Ramesh, after 25 years? The man took a deep breath. "Because you're in danger now, my dear, and I have to tell you the truth." But the most shocking thing was what he told her. "Your father didn't die of natural causes, Sushila." The words hung in the air. Sushila's world was suddenly shaken. "What do you mean?" Uncle Ramesh took out old photographs from his file. "Her father was a young lawyer in these photos, with unknown men beside him. Your father was investigating the big corruption case in Nepal. No one dared to speak at that time, but he spoke." Sushila's heart was beating fast. Her father's death had always seemed mysterious to her, but no one wanted to talk about it. "And do you know who was at the head of that corruption network? The fathers of the men you judged in your court today?" At that moment the phone rang. Sushila's hand tremblingly picked up the receiver. This is exactly when everything turned upside down. "Mr. Chief Justice, you need to come to the court urgently. There's a bomb threat." She looked at Uncle Ramesh. The man's face had turned white. "It has begun," he whispered. "Will you finally tell me what has begun? You have become powerful enough to finish your father's case, my dear. They know this too. They will try to stop you." Sushila stood up. Was she feeling fear? Yes, but there was also a determination inside her. "Dad, I had made a promise to you. I said I would end this injustice." While going to the court, thousands of thoughts were passing through her mind. Was the bomb threat real, or was it just to scare her? There were hundreds of police in front of the courthouse building. Bomb disposal experts were searching everywhere. The security chief came to her. "Mr. Chief Justice, we need to evacuate the building. How serious is this threat?" "Quite serious." It was anonymous, but very detailed information was given. You hadn't seen the biggest surprise yet. The next day newspapers headlined, "Bomb threat to Supreme Court." But the real shock for Sushila was another news. In a small corner on page 3, former lawyer Ramesh Sharma dies in traffic accident. She dropped the newspaper with trembling hands. Uncle Ramesh, who had left her house last night, had been found dead in the morning. A coincidence? She called the police. "Are you investigating this accident?" "Mr. Chief Justice, routine traffic accident, slipping on wet road." But the voice inside Sushila was saying something else. Uncle Ramesh had come to tell her the truth, and now he was dead. That evening, sitting alone at home, she started going through her father's old belongings. Maybe there was a clue. Among the old law books, she found a hidden envelope. The photographs and documents that came out shocked her. Wait a minute. What was written in those documents? The documents were filled with her father's handwriting. Corruption file, confidential header. Pages full of names, dates, amounts of money. From Nepal's top politicians to judiciary members, everyone was on the list. And the most shocking thing, not only the fathers of the men she judged today, but they themselves were also on this list. They were children then. Now they're running the country. There was another note in her father's handwriting. If something happens to me, give these documents to my daughter. When she grows up, she will have the power to ensure justice. Sushila was crying. Her father knew before he died that she would reach this point one day. But what would she do now? These documents would turn Nepal upside down, and it would put her in great danger too. When the phone rang, it was past midnight. We know you found the documents. Be smart. The line went dead. Sushila Karki's hand tremblingly put down the phone. Now it was time to make the real decision. The next morning when she went to court, everything was normal. Her colleagues were saying good morning. Her secretary was explaining the daily schedule. But Sushila's mind was elsewhere. The documents she hid at home had the power to change Nepal's fate. When lunchtime came, she had made her decision. There was only one journalist she trusted, Priya Sharma. She secretly met with her. Priya, the documents I'm going to give you will change Nepal's history, but it's very dangerous. The young journalist was listening excitedly. Mr. Chief Justice, I would take any risk for justice. The documents were copied. The plan was this. Priya would do detailed research with the documents, and Sushila would start the legal process. But that evening while returning home, she noticed she was being followed. When she parked her car, the black sedan behind her also stopped. 3 men got out of it. You won't believe this, but the closest person had betrayed. As the men approached, Sushila headed to the door with her heart pounding. While dropping the key from her hand, one of them spoke from behind. Mr. Chief Justice, don't worry, we won't harm you, we just want to talk. When she turned around, she was shocked. Across from her stood Mohan Raj, Deputy Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, her colleague and trusted friend for years. Mohan, are you with them too? There was sadness on the man's face. Sushila, don't make the mistake your father made. This country has an order, don't try to disrupt it. Order. Corruption order? You don't see the big picture. If these documents come out, Nepal will be dragged into chaos. There could even be a civil war. Sushila was surprised. Her most trusted friend was trying to convince her. What about justice? What about my father's death? Let the past stay in the past, Sushila. You're now the head of the country. You have responsibility. At that moment, Sushila understood. She had to fight not only with enemies outside, but also with those inside. But the real bomb exploded at that moment. When the newspapers came out the next morning, Nepal was in turmoil. Nepal's biggest corruption scandal revealed. Priya had published the documents, shocking details on every page. When Sushila went to court in the morning, there was a crowd surrounding the building. Journalists, protesters, police. When she went inside, she met the cold looks of her colleagues. No one wanted to make eye contact. Mohan Raj came to her office. You did this, didn't you? I did justice, yes. Do you know what the result of this will be? The government will fall, the country will be dragged into turmoil. Then a clean government will come. At that moment the door opened, and the Prime Minister's special advisor entered. Mr. Chief Justice, we need to talk to you urgently. The final surprise would shock everyone. In the Prime Minister's office, Nepal's most powerful people had gathered. Prime Minister, Army Commander, Intelligence Chief. Sushila was seated in the middle. Everyone was looking at her. The Prime Minister spoke. Ms. Karki, these documents are dragging the country to the precipice. You should resign as a responsible statesman. On what grounds? Endangering the country for personal gain. Sushila laughed. Personal gain? Taking revenge for my father? The army commander intervened. If you don't resign, we'll have to declare a state of emergency. Will you stage a coup? We'll do everything to protect the country. Sushila stood up. You can kill me, you can imprison me, but you can't make me give up justice. Just as she was heading to the door, her phone rang. It was Priya calling. Mr. Chief Justice, the second document package has also been published. This time there are international connections too. A gunshot echoed through the square. But when the smoke cleared, everyone realized the bullet wasn't meant for Sushila Karki. The crowd screamed and scattered in panic. Sushila instinctively ducked behind the podium, her heart racing. Security guards rushed toward her, forming a protective circle. Are you hurt, Madam Chief Justice? She wasn't. But 20 meters away, a man in a dark suit lay on the ground, blood pooling around him. The crowd was in chaos, people running in all directions. Who is he? Sushila asked, her voice barely audible over the sirens. The security chief's radio crackled. Target down. Repeat, target down. The shooter has been neutralized. But this raised more questions than answers. Who was the real target? And who had saved her life? Uncle Ramesh appeared beside her, breathing heavily. We need to leave, now. But the most terrifying revelation was yet to come. In the secure location, Uncle Ramesh finally revealed everything. The man who was shot, he was the assassin sent to kill you. Someone else shot him first. Sushila's hands were trembling. Who would protect me? Your father had more allies than you know. People who have been waiting 25 years for this moment. He opened a laptop and showed her surveillance footage from the square. A sniper on a rooftop, taking out the assassin with precision timing. There's a network, Sushila. People your father trusted. They've been watching over you your entire career. Why didn't they contact me before? Because you weren't ready. But now you have the power to finish what your father started. The laptop screen showed more footage. Meetings in secret locations. People she recognized from government and military positions. At that moment, her secure phone rang. This is when the real puppet masters revealed themselves. Miss Karki, this is General Thapa. We need to meet immediately. General Thapa? The man who had been mysteriously absent from all the recent political turmoil. Some said he was planning a coup. Others claimed he had gone into hiding. Where are you, General? Closer than you think. Look out the window. A convoy of military vehicles was approaching the safe house, not to arrest her, but to protect her. When General Thapa entered, his first words shocked her. Your father saved my life once. Now it's my turn to save yours. He spread military intelligence files across the table. The corruption network is deeper than even your documents show. It reaches into the army, the intelligence services, even neighboring countries. How deep? Deep enough that they were willing to assassinate a chief justice in broad daylight. The files revealed arms dealing, human trafficking, money laundering operations spanning decades. But why reveal this now? Because tomorrow, they're planning to declare martial law, and you'll be arrested as a threat to national security. You haven't seen the most shocking betrayal yet. We have 18 hours before they move against you, General Thapa continued. But there's something else you need to know. He handed her a classified intelligence report. Her face went pale as she read. The Prime Minister, he's not the real power. He's just a puppet. Then who is? Your closest colleague. The man you trusted most. The report contained photographs of secret meetings, financial records, recorded conversations, all pointing to one person, Mohan Raj. Mohan isn't just involved in the corruption. He's been running it for the past 5 years. Sushila felt sick. The man who had sat beside her in court, who had celebrated her victories, who had pretended to be her friend. He's been feeding them information about your investigations, your plans, your security arrangements. The bomb threat at the court, ordered by him, to scare you into backing down. Uncle Ramesh added grimly. And the assassination attempt today, that was his idea too. Wait until you hear what they planned next. General Thapa pulled up another file on his tablet. Operation Silent Gavel, that's what they're calling it. The plan was laid out in horrifying detail. Sushila would be arrested on charges of treason and collaboration with foreign powers. The evidence was already fabricated. They'll claim you were working with Indian intelligence to destabilize Nepal. But that's absurd. Truth doesn't matter when you control the media and the courts. The plan included planted evidence in her home, false witness testimonies, and a show trial that would end with her imprisonment or worse. But there's more. They're planning to use your arrest to justify a complete takeover of the judiciary. Democracy in Nepal will be finished. Sushila stood up, pacing the room. So what do you suggest? That I run? Hide? No. We fight back. But not the way they expect. General Thapa smiled for the first time. We're going to give them a surprise they'll never forget. At that moment, the lights went out. The counterattack was about to begin. In the darkness, Uncle Ramesh's voice was calm, right on schedule. Emergency generators kicked in, bathing the room in red light. Outside, the sound of helicopters filled the air. What's happening? Sushila asked. General Thapa was speaking rapidly into his radio. Phoenix is secure. Initiate Operation Sunrise. Operation Sunrise. While they were planning to arrest you tomorrow, we've been planning our own operation. Tonight we arrest them. The scale of the counter-operation was breathtaking. Simultaneous raids across Kathmandu, targeting every major figure in the corruption network. We have evidence on all of them. Bank accounts, communication records, witness testimonies from victims. But how did you gather all this without them knowing? Uncle Ramesh chuckled. Who do you think has been secretly recording their meetings for the past 2 years? He showed her a small device. Your father wasn't the only one who believed in justice, Sushila. We've been building this case since the day he died. The radio crackled with updates. Target Alpha secured, Target Bravo in custody, Target Charlie attempting to flee. But the biggest shock was still coming. Target Echo is refusing to surrender, came a tense voice over the radio. Who's Target Echo? Sushila asked. General Thapa's expression darkened. Mohan Raj. He's barricaded himself in the Supreme Court building. The Supreme Court. But why there? Because he's trying to destroy the evidence. All the case files, all the records, he's burning everything. Through the window they could see smoke rising from the direction of the courthouse. Sushila's life's work, the cases she had fought so hard to win, were going up in flames. We have to stop him. It's too dangerous, he's armed and desperate. But Sushila was already moving toward the door. That building represents everything I believe in. I won't let him destroy it. General Thapa tried to stop her. He'll kill you on sight. Maybe, but I'd rather die protecting justice than live knowing I let it burn. The convoy raced through the empty streets of Kathmandu. Ahead, the Supreme Court building was silhouetted against the orange glow of fires. When they arrived, the sight was devastating. What Sushila found inside changed everything. Smoke was pouring from the upper floors of the Supreme Court. Fire trucks surrounded the building, but they couldn't get close because of sporadic gunfire from inside. He's in your office, the tactical commander reported, burning files and shooting at anyone who approaches. Sushila studied the building she knew better than anywhere else. There's a back entrance through the archives. I can get in without him seeing me. Absolutely not. You're not going in there. General, with respect, I'm still the Chief Justice of this court. That man is destroying Nepal's legal history. I won't stand by and watch. Against all protests, she put on a bulletproof vest and followed a small tactical team through the archive entrance. The hallways were filled with smoke, lit only by the glow of burning files. The smell of her life's work turning to ash filled her nostrils. As they approached her office, they could hear Mohan's voice, talking to someone on the phone. Yes, sir. I'm destroying everything. No evidence will remain. What? She's supposed to be dead by now. Sushila's blood ran cold. Even now, even caught, he was still plotting her death. The tactical team was ready to breach, but Sushila held up her hand. She wanted to face him herself. The final confrontation would reveal the ultimate truth. Sushila pushed open the door to her own office. Mohan Raj spun around, his face a mask of rage and desperation. Her desk was covered with burning documents, and he held a gun in his shaking hand. Sushila, you're supposed to be dead. Sorry to disappoint you, old friend. Friend, he laughed bitterly. Do you know how long I've watched you? How long I've smiled and pretended to respect you while you destroyed everything we built? Everything you stole, you mean? We brought order to chaos, we created stability. And you would have destroyed it all for your naive ideals about justice. The flames from the burning documents cast dancing shadows on the walls. 25 years of cases, verdicts, legal precedents, all turning to ash. Why, Mohan? You had everything. Respect, position, influence. Why choose corruption? Because justice is a luxury only the powerful can afford. The rest of us have to take what we can get. He raised the gun, his hand trembling. Your father thought the same way. He died believing in justice, and now you will too. But at that moment, something unexpected happened. Uncle Ramesh appeared behind Mohan, very much alive and holding his own weapon. Drop the gun, Mohan. It's over. Mohan's eyes widened in shock. Ramesh, but you're dead. I saw the accident report. You saw what we wanted you to see. Did you really think we'd let Sushila face this alone? The truth finally came out. Uncle Ramesh hadn't just been her father's friend. He had been an undercover intelligence officer, investigating the same corruption network for decades. Your father discovered the corruption by accident, Ramesh explained, gun still trained on Mohan. But he was working with us to expose it safely. You had him killed before we could protect him. Mohan's face twisted with rage. He was going to destroy everything, just like she is. No, Mohan,